The board will meet in regular session on Tuesday, September 5th, 2017 at 9 a.m. in the courthouse meeting room, room 2, northeast corner, 3rd floor, with 3 members present. You may have to push this.
Yeah, I guess we're good.
This is loud. Okay.
Turn your mics on.
Okay, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You're requested to approach the microphone, state your name for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chairperson to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. Item number 1, approval or amendment of agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Okay, at this time, the chair opens this as a public hearing in regard to sale of a county-owned real estate. There are 3 members present. 3 members present for a public hearing to hear comments on the proposed sale of county-owned real estate. Notice of public hearing is published in the Marshalltown Times, Republican, and Marshall County, Iowa. Having trouble reading that. August 25, 2017, the Mid-Iowa Enterprise, State Center, Iowa, August 31st, 2017, the Grundy Register, August 24th, 2017, and the Eldora newspaper, August 25, 2017. Okay, Madam Auditor, were there any written comments?
No.
Okay, 0. And we'll, at this time, I would ask, are there any oral comments, questions, or objections? If not, we have 0. There were 0 written comments, questions, or objections presented, and 0 oral comments, questions, or objections were presented at the hearing. There being no additional individuals wishing to speak, the chair would entertain a motion to close the hearing.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to close the hearing and offer the property for sale at public auction.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that. We will be closing the public hearing at 9:03.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to close the hearing and offer the property for sale at public auction at 9:03. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Okay. Okay, this sale is subject to the right of utilities to continue in possession of a right-of-way in use at the time of sale, and the property to be sold is listed as follows. It's the north 310 feet of the east 368 feet of the northeast quarter of the northwest quarter of the northeast quarter of section 6, township 85 north, range 18 west of the 5th principal meridian, Marshall County, Iowa. Marshall County Board of Supervisors proposes to sell the real estate by accepting sealed bids, with the bidder having the right to raise the bid at auction. The real estate shall be sold with the following bidding and purchasing procedures. All bidders must submit a letter of credit from a financial institution to the county auditor prior to the auction in the amount of at least $50,000. The auction will be an open bid. There will be a minimum bid of $6,700. Marshall County will transfer a deed to the winning bidder after the bidder has completed cleanup of the solid waste and the structures on the site. Subject to the requirements of the Marshall County Public Environmental Health Department. The winning bidder must complete the cleanup by December 15, 2017. Completion of the cleanup will be determined by the Marshall County Public Environmental Health Department. Failure to complete the cleanup by December 15, 2017 will cause the county to rescind the winning bid and place the property back up for auction. Extensions to this cleanup period will not be granted under any conditions. Okay, at this time, then item 3 is the sale of county-owned real estate, public auction, and the Board of Supervisors will require full payment by 4:30 p.m. September 15, 2017. No abstract will be provided for this county-owned real estate. So at this time, as we have noted, the minimum bid is $6,200.
$700.
Or $6,700. That is the open bid. Do I hear an open bid? There's been one bid received. The next we would offer, would there be an offer for $6,800? I'll ask again, would there be another bid for $6,800? Asking the third time for the $6,800 bid. If not, this is sold for $6,700.
Your name, sir?
Mark Goodman. So my wife Sandy will be purchasing the property.
Okay, so be Sandy Goodman. Do you go Sandy or Sandra?
Sandra.
Sandra?
Do we know what the acres are on that thing?
I don't.
If my memory serves me right, it is slightly less than 2.
We could figure it out by the feet there, Mark.
Did we take that 310 times 368 or not?
I believe so. And then divide by your 43,560. We should be right on. I do not have a calculator.
I think that'd be,
Would you like to know that before we continue?
yeah, should be around 2.5 to 56, 57.
I thought John had said 2.3.
Okay.
What have we got? Packet.
Hasn't been surveyed yet, has it? There's no survey stakes.
2.6, yeah.
2.6 acres.
Yeah.
Okay.
2.6.
Yes.
Just,
Question?
yeah, just, could you give me a rough estimate of where exactly the property is in like lay terms?
North of Liscum and the Blacktop to the first gravel road
Okay.
that goes east approximately a quarter mile on the south side of the road.
Okay.
This is almost on the Hardin County line.
Okay.
Pretty close. Okay, if there's no further questions, the chair would entertain a motion from the,
Mr. Chair,
Mhm.
I motion that we accept the bid from Sandra Goodman for the above described real estate in the amount of $6,700 and authorize the chairman of the board and the county auditor to sign a quitclaim deed after the property has been cleaned up, subject to the requirements of the Marshall County Public Environmental Health Department, and provided that the cleanup is completed by December 15, 2017, subject to an inspection by the Marshall County Public Environmental Health Department.
your second?
I would second.
Moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? If not,
Nothing else? Okay.
roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Motion is carried. Thank you.
Congratulations. We've been working at this property for
Long time.
about 11 years.
We've had meetings in here, and more meetings in here. So hopefully this is the last one. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sandra, Mark.
we don't need to sign anything today in this regard?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, very good. Other than after the meeting, we need a check from them by what, 4:15? 4:30. 4:30.
By
The 15th of
By the
September.
15th of September,
Yep.
yes. Okay, moving on then to item number 4. This is a receipt and consideration of bids for county property and casualty insurance. Bid proposals have been received for Marshall County Property and Casualty Insurance to be put into effect on October 1, 2017. Sealed bids will be opened on Tuesday, September 5th, 2017 for further study by the Board of Supervisors and Auditor and Recorder for consideration and action to take place on the September 19th, 2017 regular session of the Marshall County Board of Supervisors. So, Madam Auditor, would you open the sealed bids, please?
Who's this one from?
This is from Shella.
Joan Madsen.
Yep. So name a bidder, Shoma Madsen Insurance. And the total premium amount is $346,268. Even, no cents.
And what portion of the insurance package is this for?
That would be for the premium, so that would be automobile liability, fidelity, crime, marine, umbrella, linebacker, law enforcement, workers' compensation. So it's a multiple
Okay, full line
full line, yeah,
with work comp.
with the work comp included.
Okay.
So,
And what company is that with?
Show
Shoma,
Which
it
one?
is
Oh.
with,
ECI,
EMC.
EMC, I'm sorry. Bobby, my apologies, I don't know where ECI popped into my head.
That's all right. But do you have mind reading it by line, the numbers?
Sure.
The individuals, sure. Yep. So property blanketed, $29,452. Business automobile, $46,311. General liability, $11,846. Crime fidelity, $1,726.
That was 1,000 what, pardon?
726.
Thank you.
Yep. Inland marine, 20,721. Umbrella, 19,786. Linebacker, 16,410. Law enforcement, 27,292. Workers' compensation, 172,724. Which is the total of the 346,268. As long as it's mastered.
It'd be a computer error, right? Yeah, okay.
Well, it's handwritten, so, you know, it's not on,
Oh,
it's not on an
okay.
Excel sheet, so. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay. Do we have all the questions answered that you got? Are we ready to go on to the next one? You're still tapping away there, David.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I was
You're ready?
just double
Okay.
checking the mail.
Okay.
Okay. It's always fun to open these. Seriously. Surprised there's not duct tape or something in here.
No shortage of envelopes at your place?
I will send her flowers this afternoon.
We're probably gonna have a work comp claim for paper cuts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. All right. Okay, so this is for insurance for ICAP, IMWCA. So it is, I'll do the total first and then we'll run down by the numbers. 288,767.47. Okay. So the property blanketed is $49,858.24. Business automobile is $41,178.16. General liability is $23,646.60. Crime fidelity, $1,882 even. Inland marine is included in the property. The umbrella is none, casualty lines at $4 million each. The linebacker, you guys are ready, $7,095.12. Law enforcement, $12,838.84. Workers' compensation, $148,332. And in parentheses, it says prorated to July 1st of 18 is $110,984.
110,984.
984, yeah. All other fees, charges, or commissions, $3,936.51.
Would you repeat that number, please?
Absolutely. $3,936.51.
Thank you. Bobby, for the purposes of that bid, do we have to add the two work comp numbers together?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so it's 148.
148 is their 12-month bid.
Okay,
We'll talk over the next couple of weeks why they gave you that other number.
I think I understand it because of when it starts on our,
Correct.
okay. So it would be starting July 1st on our,
For the current term.
fiscal year.
Yeah, for the current term, it would start October 1 and run until July 1st. So you're actually paying a 9-month premium to get to the renewal date that everything in the IMWCA county program starts on July 1.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Scarily so.
And Bobby, I just want to mention that this is just a secondary thing that
That's
goes
just-
with some more information
Well,
on.
it's an endorsement,
Okay.
it's nothing to do with the bid.
Okay, I just want people to understand that there's not one that's not being
Correct.
opened.
Would you repeat one more time? The first one was EMC, the second one was IMWCA?
Yeah, there's two.
Yes.
It comes IWCA and then ICAP
And
also,
ICAP,
both
yeah.
of them.
Okay.
ICAP and WCA.
Got it.
ICAP would be everything except for the
Work
workers'
comp.
compensation line, and IMWCA would be specifically the workers' compensation line.
Okay.
Okay, are there any questions or any needs?
Those are the only two
Those are
bids
the
that we
only two,
had.
yeah.
Okay.
This is just
And
documentation.
just for people in the room who
Mhm.
wondered, bids, all bids were to be received no later than 9 o'clock this morning. So that at 9 o'clock, then we close the receiving part of it, and those are the only two that we had. So, okay. If there's no further discussion or anything, the chair would entertain a motion that we receive and study, accept and receive the bids.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to receive for study the bid proposals as opened and listed above.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Slosik,
Yes?
Patton,
Yes. Okay. Then at our next general meeting, which will be September 19th, the board will come forth with an acceptance of one of these. So, thank you for participating. And moving on then to our consent agenda. Item number 5 is to approve our minutes from a regular session, August 22, 2017. Item 6 is to accept manure management plan update, PAGLC ID 59611, annual update received and placed on file with no changes made to the manure management plan. 7, accept management plan, manure management plan update, Edler Brothers, Section 13. Schaffer site ID 62427, annual update received and placed on file with no changes made to the manure management plan. Item number 8, accept manure management plan update, Mead Family Farms, LLC, ID 61407, annual update received and placed on file with no changes made to the manure management plan. Item number 9, accept independent auditor's report, Center Associates, years ended June 30th, 2017 and 2016. Side note, we have this on file, and we keep it on file, so if there's anyone who does have questions about that, that's public information. So. Number 10, approved claims. Approved claims as audited and authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment of the same. The listing of claims paid at this meeting and all claims paid in the month of September will be published as part of the first meeting in October. At this time, The chair would entertain a motion to approve consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
And I second.
Any further questions, comments? If not, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Motion carried. Number 11, request for the use of the courthouse grounds. The Arts and Culture Alliance has requested the use of the courthouse grounds for the Marshall County Art Festival on Saturday, July 21, 2018, from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. Is there someone here to speak towards that? Could you state your name and...
Amber Danielson. I'm the director of the Marshall County Arts and Culture Alliance. Thank you for having me. I sent a letter that I think I saw was in the packet. If you're familiar with the Lynn Creek Art Festival, we've annually hosted it at the Fisher Community Center. The Arts and Culture Alliance took over hosting that event in 2009. Just recently, we've went through some community conversations discussing the longevity and the future of the festival, and a group of us are in the process of rebranding the festival to be called the Marshalltown Art Festival. As we look at community pride and a lot of the awesome things that we have going on in the community, we just realized that with this being such, well, what we think is such a special event in Marshalltown, it was a good opportunity for us to highlight Marshalltown and brand Marshalltown with this event. So with that, we have discussed the opportunity to bring the festival downtown, to bring people through our downtown, extend the festival to restaurants and businesses in our downtown. Also, there's a little bit more space, some flexibility for our vendors and our artists that allows us to do more than what we're limited to at the Fisher Community Center. So
you're expecting this to expand a little bit?
We certainly hope so, yeah. Okay. In the past 2 to 3 years, I would say we average about 3,000 to 3,500 as far as attendance goes. However, we would like to see that grow, and we feel like it might be a good opportunity with the rebranding and potentially the opportunity for larger space downtown that we could go above and beyond that.
Well, this is down the road quite a ways, but just for your thought process, the gentleman sitting back here by the light switch is Lucas Babke. He's chairman of our building and grounds, and he's the one who knows where things can go and where they shouldn't because of underground utilities.
Sure.
And so he's the guy to work with that. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Good to know.
And,
yep, I've heard his name, so.
He's the big man around town, yeah.
I know that parking was an issue in your former location. How are
Right.
you going to address parking as
Yeah.
an issue here?
Yeah, that's also a factor that's driving us to look at a new location. If you aren't aware, the parking that we use for the festival, it will be the new home of the fire police building. So, you know, downtown, I think that there's a lot of parking available. I mean, I think that there's a stigma that there's not a lot of parking downtown, but with the use of, you know, parking behind Tremont and along the roads, and I mean, I envision it very similar to how Oktoberfest hosts so many people downtown. So certainly that will be something that we'll have to communicate better with the public so that they understand, you know, where parking is available.
Even
so
little drawings so they don't
absolutely.
get lost.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We're in the very early stages of planning, but we understand that parking is a big deal, so we're going to have to make sure that we address that.
Because it's not all public.
Correct. Yep.
And are you going to be closing any streets down?
I envision probably closing right here in front of the courthouse and then along Second here, kind of.
Not Center Street?
Not Center. I don't envision that, no.
Okay.
But again, I can't promise exactly. We're still in earlier stages, so we're still talking a little bit in general. We don't have fine details on that quite yet. But I'm certainly happy to come back and communicate that when we have them.
I was going to say that, yeah, okay.
Sure.
If there's changes down the road.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, just keep us alert
Sure.
of what's going to happen.
Yep.
Very good. Any questions? Any further questions?
Nope. Just,
Okay.
we haven't voted yet, but just from a personal perspective, but glad to see you come downtown. It's the heart of our community.
Agreed.
We've lost so many celebrations in the downtown as of late with Thanks with Franks. The Iowa cook-off has gone out to the mall. The Thursday night farmers market has left our courthouse square, and
Yep,
it'll be nice to have this edition.
I agree. Thank you.
Very nice festival. It's been wonderful in the past and
Thank you.
should be able to grow down here.
Agreed. Thank you.
We'll all pray for weather.
Always. Thank you.
Good weather. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Any further questions? If not, roll call vote, please.
Nope, we haven't had a motion yet.
We haven't had a motion? Oh, my error.
I would make a motion
Thank you.
that we are to approve the request from the Arts and Cultural Alliance and that have requested the use of the courthouse grounds for the Marshalltown Arts Festival on Saturday, July 21, 2018, from 6 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. If there are no further discussion, if there is no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item number 12. Item number 12 was brought up, discussed, and passed at our last board meeting. After the board meeting, we found an error, and in your agenda there, you can see what the error is. It's in the second paragraph of the motion, where it was typed in east, should be west, and we are going to redo this whole motion at this point so that we'll have a correction here for our minutes. So down the road, after we're all gone, someone will come in and say, what was that done? What was done and when was it done? We'll have it correct. So that's the reason for that. So at this time, the chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we adopt resolution number 2017-0042A, stop sign resolution to correct the wordage in the fourth paragraph from east to west, as corrected above. This corrected resolution number 2017-0042A replaces resolution number 2017-0042 that was adopted at the August 22nd, 2017 Board of Supervisors regular session.
Is there a second?
And I would second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
It's just a typo on my part.
No, that's fine.
I read that thing 3 times.
Well, we all read it more than once, Paul, and then it was even later on in the afternoon.
There's not even an intersection at the east side of that section.
No, there isn't. I didn't even think about it until on my way home when I was driving by that just to check it out. And I thought, oh, we're going to have to work on this one, but that's not a problem. We'll get her fixed. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. This motion is passed. Okey-doke. Item number 13. Property tax rates. A listing of tax rates can be found on pages 8 and 9 of this meeting. First of all, I guess before we get into it, do you have some comments? Or anyone have any comments?
I can just add that the statements went out last week.
Okay.
Last Wednesday they were mailed out, so I know the property tax statements are out there. Was there anything, Dan, that you had on the rates itself?
No, not really. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Every year we kind of calculate lots and lots of money and put it into rates and get those taxes over to the treasurer's office so we can get those statements out to the public so they can start paying on them, so.
Okay. The chair would entertain a motion on item number 13.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the property tax rates for 2016 taxes payable 2017, 2018, computed by the county auditor and recorder and approved by the Iowa Department of Management, be established as follows on page 8 and 9.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
It has been moved and seconded. It's pretty straightforward there. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes, motion is carried. Item number 14, request from Oktoberfest, discussion and possible action to approve the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages on the courthouse grounds during the Oktoberfest celebration on September 22nd, September 23rd of 2017 during Oktoberfest activities. Okay, the chair would entertain a motion to that effect.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we approve the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages on the courthouse grounds on September 22nd, 2017 from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and from September 23rd, 2017 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Is there a second?
And I'll second.
Been moved and second to approve this. This time we'll open it up for discussion.
I would like
Questions?
to hear from the committee.
Jennifer Hart, current president of the Oktoberfest. This is something that we've been working on for a very long time. Pre to me being president, and what we're looking at doing with Oktoberfest is expanding this. We are doing a lot of different things this year. We are in conjunction with homecoming. So Thursday night, the homecoming parade will be coming down the street during the children's activities on Thursday night. Our vendors are moving. We're getting new vendors. We're getting more and more crafters and merchants. So we're expanding. We're also changing the 5K, 10K to a color run in the afternoon to get more people involved. So it's just kind of evolving. Oktoberfest is evolving. What we were hoping for is this year is to turn it more into a music festival. So we're bringing more bands in and more music downtown, and the Coliseum would be used as a rain location, but we're trying to get more people downtown and to keep them down here for our vendors and our merchants and things like that, rather than take them away from from the downtown location.
There were some concerns voiced at the city council on this when they approved the alcoholic beverage license, that this has primarily been a family event.
Mm-hmm.
And we certainly want to keep it that way. At the same time, we're certainly not averse to the alcohol. Would you please explain how you're going to monitor this and how you're going to prevent anybody that is not of age?
Correct. We do a wristband system in which everybody of the age that is going to be purchasing alcohol or consuming alcohol has to have a wristband on. If you do not have a wristband on, then you are not allowed to purchase or consume alcohol. We're not talking hard liquor or anything. We're only talking beer beverages and malt beverages. The other thing is, and I brought a map as well, just like at the city council meeting, where our barricades will be, and there will be a police presence as well. They will be wandering throughout the area. We will also be having volunteers, approximately 40 plus volunteers that will be stationed around the facility or the grounds and everything, reminding people of everything that they're supposed to be doing. There'll be signage as well as to what the law is and where the perimeters are. And the perimeter, if you didn't see the city council meeting, there will be a snow fence along the line from the stage across by the carnival to deviate the carnival from the grounds. But then the whole Main Street will be blocked off, and Center Street will be blocked off as well by barricades. And so the service area is only in that barricaded area. So it is not, it's not snow fenced in, but it's barricaded in for a perimeter.
Is drinking allowed outside of that perimeter?
No. No, they are not allowed to take it outside of that perimeter. They're only allowed to consume it inside. And by eliminating the snow fence, it just eliminates that, unable to converse with the car show on Friday night, to converse with other vendors and things, because our vendors are on, different sides of the street, and if you keep him on the courthouse lawn, then it prevents him from going and getting something to eat. And so this is just going to help out our vendors in general. It's also going to bring, Oktoberfest up to what we hope to have in the future, and more bands and things like that. And all of our bands, the setup will be different as well. So your vendors aren't going to be necessarily just on the sidewalk and things. We're going to be expanding it so that there's more seating. There's bleachers will be moved and across the street so people can go and sit on the bleachers and still have alcohol, and consume and listen to music. But there'll also be picnic tables and things that they can sit at. So we're trying to make it more of a family friendly, so the parents aren't corralled into one area to enjoy a beverage. So.
Okay, any further questions? Any other comments by the people that came along too?
I'd just like to say that the security and having the presence of the police is the #1 concern for us. We understand that the city's letting us have a huge trial thing here, and we appreciate it. And the safety of our town is our #1 concern as well. And
Okay.
we'll do anything to work with the police and even to take it further from this year, learn our lessons and apply it going forward.
Well, this looks almost exactly like the setup that was used for RAGBRAI not too many years ago.
Correct.
When it came through, as far as the area. I know Jarrett was working that, so was my wife. I think you guys were down there selling tickets before the storm hit, which kind of shut everything down. We hope you have excellent weather, and I'll echo my previous comments. Thank you for expanding it on the courthouse square. We definitely want to see our facilities used, and this is an improvement.
Yes, it is.
Again, I want to introduce you to Lucas Bapke.
Yes, we know Lucas very, very
Okay.
well.
Very good, very good. Okay, if there's nothing else, thank you for.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you also for coming, appreciate that. Any further questions or comments? If not, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Okay, motion has carried. Item number 15, secondary road equipment purchase, discussion and possible action on the purchase of a 2016 Ram 5500 chassis tradesman crew cab 84-inch CA 4x4 truck.
This is
Tell us about it.
Well, this is going to be our mechanics truck. We currently have a mechanics truck that's a 2004. It's a unit that we use just as long as we can, but the truth is the mechanics truck really has to be able to be out there and has to be reliable, because of the age of our fleet. If the mechanics truck's in the shop getting fixed, we could be in big trouble. It carries, generator, air compressor, a hoist that you can move heavy parts and get them into the body of it. Has a torch set up and everything on it, so pretty much everything they need for a mobile response to something that's broke down out in the county without us having to haul it in. This purchase is just the chassis of that vehicle, so there would still be a mechanic's body built around this chassis, and that's why we went with it has to be an 84-inch cab to axle, because you see the utility bodies that people buy, and so we're in shopping for utility bodies. That was really the only specification we had to have, was that 84-inch cab to axle length. And this is a heavier chassis than our current F450, so it has a little bit more capacity. And it is a gas engine, which we have experience with. We currently have I think just one truck in our fleet with this 6.4 in it. As far as the power plant, it's a good engine, so we have experience with it. We hadn't initially planned to replace this truck this year, but this is definitely one that taking it into this winter is a bad idea. And even with this purchase and getting a new utility body spec'd out, we still may have to use the current mechanics truck until January, because it's going to take a while to get that built and get that spec'd out. And I'll bring the mechanic's body to you as well for approval, because it's likely going to cost more than this chassis.
Understand.
Where is this purchase going to be? Where are we getting this vehicle from?
This would be from Deary of Ames. And it actually ended up being a little bit better price because this is a 2016 chassis, and since 2018s are out, they are motivated to move this unit, and it's actually the only 2016 left on their lot of anything, but it just happened to be there, and we went and looked at it, and it met the specs that we need for a chassis.
I'm assuming that all our local dealers within Marshall County got an opportunity on
They
this also.
they didn't, because they can't bid commercial. This is a commercial chassis, and our local Ram dealer does not do commercial.
Okay, how about anything with the other dealerships?
We did not. We looked at Ram, and this is really a target of it's a pretty good deal on a chassis. So we did not price Ford. Our current one is a Ford, and we really don't want a Ford. We did not price Chevy on this.
Okay.
Any further comments?
Paul, this wasn't in the budget, this last budgeting year? Is that fair to say?
It'll be from our 2018 fiscal equipment budget is where the purchase would be made from.
Okay.
And there's every year when I do the equipment budget in my plans, I have wants and I have needs, and I spend that, but this is a need instead of a want. I mean, there's things that can move, and certain pieces of equipment just dictate themselves to the top of the order.
Is this going to leave us short on the rest of our equipment budget? Because we were talking a maintainer, and then we also, the excavator that we just purchased last year, but will be paid for out of this year's fiscal budget, is also in this.
That was paid out of last year's fiscal budget.
Okay, is this going to leave us enough room for the?
Yes,
for the
because the
maintainer?
excavator was made out of fiscal 17 money.
Right, but we didn't take possession.
It was just a matter of getting the invoice before June
Get the
30th, and we
invoice.
did.
Yes, okay.
The motor grader is going to deliver sometime next month, I think, and that's the one that we approved earlier.
Correct.
And we'll still have the ability to do. We may do another pickup. We're going to look at what's left and see, but we usually try to hold a piece of it, until the end in case the winter dictates what something else.
Okay, how about the pups?
Gets needed. The what?
The pups.
Pups are working well, and we've got 5. We are not currently looking to expand anymore until we buy more tandem axle trucks.
Okay.
The other issue we have with pups is we only have, we have a certain collection of drivers that we're confident on, running a pup and truck, and you don't just throw anybody in with that unit.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, we kind of started out with the information first here, but the chair would entertain a motion that we approve this purchase.
Mr. Chair, I motion that we approve the purchase of a 2016 Ram 5500 chassis tradesman crew cab, 84-inch cab to axle 4x4 truck for the purchase price of $41,616. This will be paid from our fiscal year 2018 equipment budget.
And I would second.
It's been moved and seconded. If there's no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes?
Patton.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Secondary Road Department, discussion and possible action to approve a detour agreement with the Iowa Department of Transportation for the closure of Iowa 14 from County Road E18 to Iowa 175 and using County Road T29 from Iowa 96 to Grundy County line. One could get tongue-tied and confused on that one.
It's a long detour, but only 2 miles of it involves this agreement that we're going to do here.
Okay.
It's just going to be from 96 up to the county line on Wallace, and it's a road that's in really good condition. Doesn't involve any county bridges at all. So it's a limited risk to us, and it's also in year 2020. So this is a ways out yet, but they're just getting things in order well ahead. Needed work. I wish it didn't have to wait until 2020 because 14 is getting ugly. But that's, as you can see on this map, it goes up to 175, and it's this 2 miles is the only county route that's in the detour. Because they're gonna take 96 over, and then they'll be up in Grundy County.
On 175.
They'll be up on T29,
Up to Beaman.
up to, and then up to 175 back over to 14, 175,
So it's from here
to right there.
to there.
It's 2 miles.
Yeah. From here to here, and then we hit Hardin County. Or, pardon me, Grundy County.
Must be dreaming you're in Beaman.
Yep. Okay, any further questions for Paul on this? The chair would entertain a motion to accept this agreement.
I would make a motion to approve the agreement with the Iowa DOT for the closure of Iowa 14 from County Road E18 to Iowa 175 and using County Road T29 from Iowa 96 to Grundy County line. This detour period is estimated to begin March 1 of 2020 and end November 1 of 2020.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Thank you. Item, motion has been carried. Moving on then to item number 17, which is a resolution 2017-0043. This is a mobile home tax abatement. This is something that we do every once in a while. So, Jared, do you have any comments here?
These 3 mobile homes, as you see, we're listed in Albion, and they have not been there for a while, actually. And the reason we hung on to them is when the recent owner purchased, I think lot number 3, that one was sitting there, and it was the only one that was okay, that was on site. And then some of the workers were talking about keeping it and rehabbing it, and so we were getting word that it was still going to maybe be used. So we kept trying to get that bill out there to see if we'd eventually get someone to pay, and now it's disappeared and gone, and we have no clue. So that's why we're wiping that one out. The other 2 were moved into another park in the county over in Melbourne, and actually for a while we're being paid by the owner, which never did the transfer. That's an issue that we do have with the mobile home transfer laws. There's not a lot of teeth in it to actually get not the best owners to actually do the transfer, so they can kind of get away with it without transferring, because it's just the law doesn't have the teeth in it to get them to actually do it. So the funny thing was they were paying the tax bill for a while not actually transferring it into the correct location. So, but now those are both junked and gone. So that's why we hung on to these as long as we could to get whatever money we could if possible, and now we're to the point that it's just not collectible anymore.
So they're not in Melbourne either?
They're not in Melbourne anymore either, so they're gone.
Okay, so this isn't a case of them moving from point A to point B and then possibly from B to C to eliminate taxes. They're gone.
They're gone. They actually were lived in, and taxes being paid on them in Melbourne for a couple of years. I mean, we've been waiting for the transfer and working with the park owner to see if we get it done, and just for whatever reason, they were still titled in Albion and hadn't been there for, I don't know, 5 years.
Is this the last of them from Albion now? Is that
This should be the
totally
last of
done
them.
and that-
This should be the last one unless they've moved any new ones in. They've been running as an RV park. When they had all the workers out there at the plant, there were several out there, and I need to head out there going to see if any new ones have popped up, but not that our knowledge there's been any. So
At 20 mile an hour when you go by there, you can't tell very good. So I do look, and I'm confused the whole part. But.
So,
Jared, tell me again why this on lot 3, why it had gotten so big.
that was more years. That was just I can't remember how many years back. It's been several years back. Plus all the penalty interest just building up on it. The others, like I said, were being paid there for a while, even though they were moved out. But that one hadn't been paid for a long time. That was the one lone one that when I went out there when Jim Wells bought it and they were tearing everything out, that was the one lone one out there. And I think actually some of the workers that were helped tearing it up, I think they might even been living in it for a little bit. Well, so I just kept that one out there. When I abated all the rest of them out there that we had before, I just kept that one and those other 2 because I knew they were still potentially collectible. But it's now gotten to the point it's done.
And typically in the past, the vast majority of these amounts are not what is owed to Marshall County. It is the fees that are owed to the city of Albion for cleanup and other things. Is that true on these also?
I don't believe any assessments were on these, but it's just like anything that we collect. A portion of all that money is to the city of Albion, the Marshalltown School District, and the county portion, of course. So, but no, there actually aren't any assessments that I'm aware of on any of these. No, that's just penalty and interest built up over years of non-payment.
I certainly wish there was more teeth in this law.
I do too, because
Go after 'em.
what ends up happening is, you know, if these park owners aren't on top of it with their transfer and everything, then we're kind of having to manage what they have. We deal with another park where it's just constantly, they ask for well, what do we still have out there? What do you have on your books versus our books? And what are the amounts due? And then we go through the whole, I mean, it's a whole process to make sure we got everything, what we have versus theirs. We get it to them, and then 3 months later, they come to pay. And then we have to rerun it again because it's all new penalty that's built up. So, but it seems like we're constantly kind of doing a lot of their managing for it. But, you know, that's the nature of it, and we do wish there was more teeth into it. But good luck getting the legislature changing much on that, because it's kind of viewed as, you know, it's low-income housing, and you're picking on low-income folks is how it's kind of viewed as, and that's why it's been a struggle getting the legislature to do much on it. But they've tried different theories for years. I mean, they used to do actual plates on mobile homes. They don't do that anymore. But so they've tried changing things here and there to make it a little better process. But it's hard to get anything changed just by the nature of what they are.
Has the Treasurers Association proposed this as legislation?
I've worked with the mobile home park. He's like the lobbyist and head of the Mobile Home Park Association. And what we've tried getting to him when the whole property tax reform happened and it changed to a multi-residential, so the park owners are being charged multi-residential. We also tried seeing if we could cut a deal with them to get them to lower the rates so that the park owners would be in charge of paying the property taxes on the mobile homes in the park. And we were kind of close on the deal, but we couldn't get all their membership to go on it. We knew that if we didn't have the Mobile Home Park Association with us on it, it wasn't going to be done. But there is some interest because those members of the Mobile Home Park Association are the ones that actually are doing it right. The ones that we're having the problems with, they're not a part of that association. So we're going to continue to work with them to see if we can get somewhere that, you know, if you have the park owner in charge of all the taxes, not the individuals, then you don't have a lot of the individual problems that you have. And then hopefully we can sink a little bit of teeth into it that, you know, that actually, like when a particular mobile home is not paid, that the entire property could go up to tax sale versus just that mobile home. So, I mean, there's some ideas out there that we floated with that association, but we know that if they're not on with us, we can't get anything. But it's just but every year it seems like a different treasurer's got a different idea it's just really hard to make anything move, like I said, with the nature of what mobile homes are in low-income housing, because you want to make sure that that option is viable for folks out there, because there is a purpose for the folks that do live in them.
Okay. So as long as the tires hold air, you never know.
You just never know.
Okay.
They are called mobile homes for a reason.
Okay. Thank you, Jared.
Hey, no problem.
Any further questions?
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we adopt resolution number 2017-0043, mobile home tax abatement.
And I would second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Slosik.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Okay, item number 18 is public forum. Is a time set aside for public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. Everyone's smiling and saying, don't believe so.
For the end of September, can I borrow that truck? You might need truckloads of cash coming in for property taxes. Borrow that.
tandem and hub.
That'd be great.
There you go.
I'm very happy to see some of our local facilities stepping up and wanting to use the courthouse grounds.
Oh, absolutely.
We've had so much leave the downtown these last few years, that both for Oktoberfest and the arts and cultural, it's really a pleasure to see them wanting to use our facilities.
Nice to see him come
Yeah,
back.
this is the heart of our county and our community, and that's a real pleasure to see this increase in usage.
And prior to the meeting there, last week, or last week, I visited with those people. And I think they're very serious about trying to monitor this, and that if someone has too many drinks and they're a problem, they're gonna be asked to leave. And, so I hope that everything works, everyone has a good time, and we don't get hurt. So, anyway, moving on then.
They have some good ideas about opening it up.
Yeah.
Like the vendors aren't all gonna run across Main Street on the west side here, they're actually gonna move them back along that angled parking lot, so it opens up more. And you just, if you're on the courthouse, you'll just see the back of other vendors, which I thought was a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Moving on to item number 19, adjournment. The next regular session is September 17th, or 19th, 2017 at 9 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor, recorder's office, or board of supervisors office by Thursday, September 14th, 2017 at 1 o'clock. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Long one.
Yeah.
At that Arts Festival.
We didn't really have any